Eris confessed to Siana. I can't bear any woman's company except yours. Siana responded, but Eris, to remain by the princess's side for long periods, will need assistance, especially during moments like this when the crown prince summons you amidst your busy schedule. Eris nodded knowingly, a hint of concern in her eyes. I'll ensure we find a maid who cherishes the princess as much as I do, she promised. By the way, if you haven't watched the previous episodes yet, please be sure to catch up on those first. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. 2 maids arrived and introduced themselves, saying, We are the new attendants assigned to Ruby Palace, starting today. I'm Nini, and this is Nana. They bowed respectfully before the princess. We are at your service, your highness, and will serve you diligently. Eris observed quietly, noting, she doesn't seem to like them. They both look alike, making it difficult to distinguish between them. As Siana prepared to depart for the prince's residence, Eris called out to her, showing a serious expression. If anyone says something strange or unsettling, come back to me right away, Eris said firmly, gesturing with her arm. I'll handle it and give them a good scolding. Siana nodded in agreement, promising to inform Eris promptly if anything concerning occurred during her visit to the prince. As Siana stepped into the palace, a warm welcome enveloped her. The attendants, recognizing her as a distinguished guest of His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, greeted her with the utmost respect and hospitality. They assured her of their attentive service until His Majesty's arrival. Seated quietly, Siana took in the opulence of her surroundings, marveling at the palace's grandeur while her mind wandered through the flurry of activity around her. After some time, the prince arrived, carrying a cat in his arms and a bird perched atop his head. Taking his seat, he beckoned Siana over and explained, I was taking my pets out for a stroll, hence the delay. Allow me to properly greet you now. Rising from his chair once more, the prince placed a hand over his heart and said, Siana, welcome to my palace. Siana was taken aback by his warm greeting. Gathering her composure, she asked, Since it's worth the discussion, what kind of work should I do? The prince, with a playful glint in his eye, responded, Are you that impatient? He then added, We will both have desserts together, and in a surprising gesture of intimacy, he reached out to feed her with his hand. Siana pondered, Is that all you want me to do? She opened her mouth and took a bite, closing her eyes. The prince asked, How does it taste? Siana was lost in the moment after the first bite. In her mind, she was reveling in the flavor, thinking, This is great. It's not too sweet and fits perfectly with my taste. It seems like all the best ingredients were used. I also love the fruity scent in each bite. It's a reward for all my hard work. The prince, blushing and with one hand on his face, was still waiting for her answer. He asked again, Did you not like it? Siana replied, Oh no, your highness, I was just a little surprised. Did you make them yourself? He responded, I find it easier to make my own snacks for my kids. Siana was shocked and thought, It was edible for humans, right? He replied, It makes it so much fun. The dishes came out particularly tasty today, so I wanted you to take a taste as well. Curiously, Siana asked, Why are you spending time with animals? He replied, It's quite fun. She was surprised and wondered how the crown prince, who is said to have no emotions at all, could be like this. He said, I guess you like them. I like cute and small animals. Don't you feel happy to see them? The scene begins with the prince telling a story about a princess from the Winter Kingdom. Although dazzlingly beautiful, she was extremely sensitive to the cold. Even while in a room with a fireplace, she was still too cold to move. Then, a small bird, taking pity on her, appeared. Princess, I would like to gift you a piece of the sun, it said warmly. Because of the piece of sun that the little bird had brought, the princess was finally able to see the beautiful world outside. Siana asked, How do you know of this tale? The prince replied, There is someone from whom I've heard this tale. I remember the story, but not the person who told it. Siana pondered. She believed that this was the only lead, but she must have been mistaken. Then, Siana came outside and wondered, How does the crown prince know of this tale? This is just one of many stories I made up when I was younger. It's a story I only shared with one person at that. I can't believe it. After that, time passed. Chuchu came to meet Siana. They happily hugged each other. Siana said, Thank you for introducing me to your friends back then. I was able to get a load off my shoulders, and don't worry about it. It turned out well for Nini and Nana too. Anyway, come to think of it, you've also formally become a maid. She congratulated Chuchu. Chuchu said, that was just a bit of luck. My skills as a worker must have been impressive. She was chosen to attend Princess Grace's palace. Siana was amazed. Chuchu was bewildered as well. For someone like me who only has physical strength to offer, she said. Then she remembered that the test must be soon. Siana asked, shocked, the test? I didn't know about that. Chuchu said, what's with your reaction? Don't you know about the promotion test? Are you not planning to take it? Siana said. Well, it's only been half a year since I formally became a maid. I don't have enough experience. Chuchu said loudly, what are you talking about? Be more confident. If it's you, anything's possible. No, it's more than possible. She held her hand and said, Siana, this isn't just about greed. Your world is growing bigger now. If you're formally accepted, you'll be able to do much more. More than anything, your pay will increase too. Grab the opportunity while you can. Siana thought, if my pay is raised, Chuchu and I can eat to our content and buy the princess pretty presents. Someday when I quit as a maid, I could open a small store. After thinking of these things, Siana agreed to take the test. A few days later, they all went to see the result board. Siana searched for her name on the board, but her name was not there. Nini and Nana said, it's probably because of where you are from. Nini said, it might not be obvious, but they do care about the origins of mid-level maids. Nana said, elite lineages or whatever they call it. Nini and Nana are both talented with a lot of experience, but they were not promoted. They are daughters of hunters, and Siana is a foreigner from a defeated nation. It's unfortunate, but it won't be easy to survive on a pay as small as a rat's tail. Eris heard them and said angrily, those bastards. Do they dare fail people for such reasons? I am going to have a word with them. Siana stopped her while opening the door. Princess, you cannot. The results have already been released. How is that fair? It's not even funny. As if there's anyone better than you. Siana said she appreciated her words. They both know that the Imperial Palace is merciless with what is done. Eris asked, what if your grandmother has a word with them instead? But Siana doesn't wish for that. She said, you'll have to deal with the repercussions. 12. Siana sat and hugged her and said, please do not worry too much, Princess. Opportunities are always bound to come again. One lady came and asked her, are you Siana? So, you were not promoted even though your skills were not lacking at all. If anything, you were overqualified. Siana remained silent. She said, I would like to give you an offer. Please accept the Queen's request. If you are successful, you shall be promoted. And thus, this chapter draws to a close. Stay tuned to discover what unfolds next in the story. In the meantime, why not explore my other videos? Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more captivating stories. Your support means the world to me.